Hello, my lovelies. It's G here from Golden Thread Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message finds you blessed and full of abundance as always, okay? So, you need to know some truths. Some deep truths are being revealed. And the light of the full moon, I'm getting this kind of energy of the sun energy is becoming so powerful in your life that the sun's energy is shining upon the moon and reflecting back. So even the moon, it's like the sun is well, that's how the moon works, right? But like how when we see the moon at night, the sun is, it's reflecting the sunlight. But there's also this energy of the moon representing illusions or dark subconscious things that we're not quite aware of. But there's this kind of energy of the sun becoming so powerful, the truth and your authenticity becoming so powerful that the sun is shining through any kind of illusions and kind of alchemizing this type of illusionary energy that might have been associated with the moon so that it can sit in divine clarity, divine understanding. So it's like there is this infiltration of this very strong divine masculine energy that is coming in and shining a bright truth, allowing any confusion to alchemize into a deep inner knowing and understanding of the situation and of yourself. And it is illuminating these truths hidden in the darkness. And it is providing and holding a space for the breaking of these illusions and for the acceptance, a deep acceptance of self. Yeah. So that a new beginning, a new dawn can rise, a new beginning. Ooh, yes. The Queen of Pentacles. I love this Queen of Pentacles too. There is an incredible blooming and a realigning with divine truth. And there is this breaking, like exactly, I was just about to say, it's like this karmic payout that's coming back, or karma is coming in and providing divine truth and divine blessings to come into your life. Yes. And here's the strong masculine energy that I was talking about here. With this King of Fire energy. It is this very strong kind of, I was going to say Aries, but Aries is here in the Fool, but it's perhaps maybe it's more like a Sagittarius energy. It's a more expansive energy. It's like this step up. Yeah. Ten of Pentacles and the Sun. Come on now. Beautiful. I'm also hearing like the breaking of a habit. But there's also a revealing of some type of parasitic, vampiric, dark energy here. There is a revealing, and the sun is shining. Divine truth is shining on. I'm hearing exactly who is at fault here. So if you were mislabeled, if you were persecuted, if you were demonized, if you were villainized in some type of situation, if you were made to look like the bad guy, if people were doing this kind of whataboutism, it's like, oh, let me divert the harsh light from shining on me and be like, but what about that person over there? And it's like, what? It's like, I'm not doing, it's like, no, I heard they said this, or I heard they did this, or look, it's like throwing something on you, and then you're like, what the heck? It's like, look, this person's got it. It's like, I didn't have what? Like, they just threw it on me. It's like, oh, it's kind of this energy where you're like, and it's like almost like you couldn't even defend yourself. And there is this type of energy of you and your innocence being avenged. Now, again, I'm not able to provide any kind of legal counsel or anything like that, but if you took someone to court, or if there was some type of slander on your name, somebody is fighting for you. Now, whether this be an actual 3D or this be more etherically, more like in the spirit world, where you have angels and ancestors and spirit guides fighting to reveal the truth about a situation and bringing divine clarity not only to you, but to those people and authorities that might have been led astray. Because there's something here about like somebody wanting you to get caught like holding the bag. It's like they stole something, put it in a bag, and then threw it to you when they thought they were about to be discovered. Is the type of situation. That doesn't have to be literal, obviously, but that's the situation that, and for some of you, you might not have even known that that was happening. You just suddenly were being blamed. You just suddenly were being persecuted. You just suddenly were being attacked or gang stalked, or your business, or just your vibrancy, your life energy could have been being attacked or siphoned. And you were just like, what is going on here? Like, what did I do to deserve this? And the answer is nothing. And for some of you, you might have come to the realization that you really didn't do anything. For some of you, you could have bruised a narcissist energy here, just by simply being in your authenticity, by being beautiful, by being strong, by being talented, beautiful, handsome, whatever the situation is, by being a natural leader. It's almost the situation here of like you wanting to provide a service, or you wanting to provide an option or something, and somebody here was like, oh, how dare you? How dare you step on my toes? How dare you make me look stupid? And I do not think that that ever was your intention in whatever was happening, but it is. And it's because of this person. It's because of their ego. It's because of their perception and how they perceive the world. They move sneaky like that. They move in the dark. They move with illusions. They move with masks. And so they project that energy and they assume that everyone else is doing it too, you know? And it could have been something so simple. It could have been something so, so, so simple. And that's all it took to bring this type of, it really honestly feels like an attack, whether that be verbally, psychically, magically, like and I don't feel like it would bring you any type of solace or anything. It wouldn't bring you any type of like to know exactly what it is and why they did, because spirit is, it's nonsensical. Like nobody in their right mind would have been like, oh yeah, and have taken it as far as this person took it. And I think it's because spirit puts you in this position to not only, because I do think that in this time of isolation and in this time that you have really gone inward and gone inside, and you've learned a lot of lessons about yourself, about the world, about your perception of the world, your perception of people. And I do think in the end you have come out of this even stronger than you were before. But there is this energy of just like, and I don't, and again, it's like, why? But why would you? I don't think it would do you any good to know the real deep reason why. Oh, okay, this person's crazy. Oh, they're they're traumatized, or their ego is so huge that they couldn't be around someone who was authentic or as nice or had such a pretty smile, or For some of you, it could have been something as simple as like you wore an outfit and that person was jealous. You walked into a room and you shone, and your light shone, and your softness or your strength like just was shining out of you. And this person, that's all it took. You could have been in a happy relationship. You could have been surrounded by friends or family who really loved you, or you were laughing or giggling or just having a good time, and that's all it took. Because for some people who are so lost in the dark, that's all it takes. Especially people, if you want to take this in a more spiritual level, who are very open to dark energies, manipulating them or using them. And for people who fall prey to jealousy, to envy, to just meanness, anger, aggression. And we all fall prey to those on a scale, from time to time. But this is a person that they don't know when to stop. They don't know, and for you, Spirit would want you to say, hey, don't. I know that it's hard. It's gonna be hard to hear this, but don't take it personal, because this person does it to everyone. They're jealous of everyone. They want to hurt everyone because they're just a sad, miserable person, and that's really unfortunate. But it is that person's path to find their way, to heal themselves, to find their way out of wanting to hurt other people in that way. And I do think that in a way, because I do believe this person is receiving karma, they're receiving lessons. A lot of things have changed in their life since they decided to do this to you. And I do think it's not only affecting them, but it feels like it's affecting other people that are around this person as well. It could be up to 3 different people here. That this divine truth is just like shining out. Yeah. And there is a message here from your higher self, or from your your high, definitely like your higher self. It's speaking through your intuition, high priestess here. It's saying that like it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Sometimes there are just cruel, mean people out there in the world who have been hurt themselves, and I'm not here to make excuses for them in any sort of no, because I've been hurt too. And it has my pain and my trauma that I've been through has driven me to do things that I regret, say things that I wish I could take back. But all you can do is learn and move on from those situations. And if you're not ready to do that, like then that's your own weight and your own shit to carry on your own back. It's not for you to thrust that upon everybody else around you. So, but I do think there is this kind of energy of you being delivered from this type of falseness. Yeah, there is this almost, there is this sense of balance here, right? Because the Two of Pentacles is about seeking balance. It sometimes can be about making choices between two, but there is this energy here of a natural balance being restored here. And it's giving me this type of like karmic exchange energy. Like, okay, I had to walk with this energy and I had to hold this energy, but it was never mine to hold to begin with. So you can hold it. You can take it back. You can have it. Because it was never mine to begin with. And you're realizing here, and there's this cleansing energy here. I love that. There definitely can be a kind, because there definitely is this kind of like childlike innocence energy, and this openness, and this, it's kind of like this energy of like, it's very trusting, it's very kind of open and innocent, and the world is beautiful, and I'm really happy, and I'll shine my light for everyone, that type of energy. And I do think that it was that very thing that, that person wanted to attack in you. And I do think it's, that energy now is shining bright, and there is this kind of like protective energy coming out that is like enough. So if you felt stalled, if you felt stopped, if you felt unevolved in any particular part of yourself, I feel like this time when this has been happening, it has been your time to reflect on that part of yourself and to spend that time bringing clarity and understanding and acceptance to that part of yourself. Because there's this kind of energy of like this person was able to send out an energy because there was a wound or a trauma inside of you, and that's what that latched onto. And through this, you were able to become aware, have an acute awareness of that, and to take your time healing it and releasing it. So again, like this person sent you this energy and you alchemized the energy and used it to improve yourself. Used it. Come on now. And you used it to help yourself grow and diversify and become even stronger than you were before. And sometimes it can be hard when we're in the middle of going through that to see that type of energy within us. And you see how it looks like she's kind of holding lavender in her hand. It looks like what you're choosing to do is to grow peace, to grow peace, to grow understanding. And all of these different aspects of your life. This is, you've really used this to reach a very deep core part of yourself and to bring healing to that wound and to that part of yourself that was really calling out for it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nine of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Three of Wands. And now I'm feeling like the peace and the serenity and the understanding that you have been waiting for is arriving. And it, because it's almost like, see, there's this energy of three, like it's almost like you vanquish these three kind of energies here. And then you are receiving these three energies here, because that's what I saw. I saw these kind of like spinning and like coming in, because the three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in, being in a place where you. But look how she is here, sitting here, meditating in peace, with her eyes closed, with her hands open, waiting to receive. And here, even, and this could be some confirmation too, if any of you have been doing like candle magic, where you've been doing magic to release and to allow, like to release things, to release and create space for blessings and manifestations to come in. This is spirit saying like, yeah, we see that. We see that energy, and yeah, we're sending it in. Yeah. They're like, you've been waiting, you've been working, you've been allowing your crops to grow, for this abundance to grow around you. And for some of you, I want to say that the illusion, there was kind of like this blindness cast around you. It's like here how it's almost like you couldn't see how much abundance and growth and possibilities were around you. It's like you were blinded to opportunities, blinded to connections around you, blinded into thinking like, oh, I don't have, it's like this kind of lack energy. And it's like, oh, don't answer that call. Don't return that text. Don't look at that email. Don't take that opportunity. When somebody mentions that there could be a job at this place, even though you hate the place that you work, don't think that it's an, self-sabotage yourself out of that situation. That's kind of what it feels like. And it feels like spirit, again, it's divine clarity that is coming into you, that is saying the illusion was that your manifestations weren't already here. They are. The illusion was the idea of separation between you and your blessings, you and your abundance, you and your strength, you and your beauty, you and your ability to lead, and your ability to heal not only yourself, but to help and guide others to heal themselves as well. And the sun is shining on this illusion and is burning it away, because it cannot withstand the weight of your destiny, is what I'm hearing. It is your destiny to do these things. And whatever little stupid little illusions based in fear and trauma that this person wanted to throw on you cannot stand up to the weight of your want and your destiny. And honestly, your sovereign will. Because your over self, your higher self is very powerful. It's very strong. And it's almost as if it's just like, okay, that's enough. You know, your ancestors, your guides are coming and they're saying it's enough. Here, let me wipe this from your eyes, baby. I don't, oh, you have a little stuff here. Let me just, there you go. There. Isn't that better? Can't you just see so much clearer now? And you're just like, oh my gosh. Wow. Because that's all it ever was illusions. All they could ever do, they could never take away what was yours. All they could ever do was trick you into thinking that you weren't worthy of what was already yours. Mm-hmm. Because this work, it is your destiny. It is what you will be doing. And you are here on a divine mission to not only pass this down to yourself, but to generations after you. To bring the sun energy not only into yourself, but to others that come after you. And if this person wants to take that away, they got to go through a lot of different destinies that you and your work are supposed to touch. They're bringing a lot of karma on themselves just because they got a little jealous of your smile or the way that you looked, or, the fact that you walked in a room and you shone and they said, oh, well, F that. You didn't know who you was messing with. You didn't know what you was getting yourself into. They do now, though. They do now, though. Yeah, I'm just hearing they're going to be way too busy to worry about you or to worry about doing this, whatever, exactly. Doing this ish that they were doing. Trying to stand in between you and your ascension into your destiny, into your power. No, 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 no. Exactly. Six of Swords. I just heard somebody, spirit guy, say kick rocks. Like, kick rocks. Uh-huh. They really were trying to infect your mind with the sense of indecision. And it's like attacking your insecurities and your stability and your vision to think, oh yes, I can absolutely do this. It's like attacking your confidence, attacking your deeper understanding and your connection to self and to your purpose. See that snake down there over the Two of Swords? I don't know if you can. It's like they threw down this gauntlet, and here with these three swords, this person was like, I'm going to be that thing that stands in between you and the inevitable, which is crazy. I just heard this. I was like, my spirit guys were like, not them taking it upon themselves to volunteer to be smited down. Like, oh, okay, I'm glad you stood up as tribute. Like, okay, if that's what you really want, exactly. If that's what you really want, look how you here are turning your back on these illusions and walking away from them. There is also this energy, this kind of like mirroring energy, this kind of false energy, where I think this person's envy and their jealousy made them want to be you or to stand. That's what it was, right? They saw you in your glory and your energy, and they're like, that's not fair. It's not fair that that person, is getting all that or has that or is that beautiful or, is that talented. Why? So I'm going to take it amongst myself to step into this person's destiny, to step onto their path. And I'm seeing this person like, I'm seeing you walking down this path, and I'm seeing this person jumping out in front of you and planting this giant mirror in front of you. And then you're kind of just like, wait, is this the way that I came? Where am I going? I thought I knew my path. When I look at this, all I see is myself. What's going on? And it's like this sense of confusion and this sense of like, almost like this sense of like entanglement, or this sense of, it's like a distraction. It's like they wanted to mirror your own energy back to you so that you would get distraction. But I'm also hearing Narcissus, right? Narcissus, who is the tale of Narcissus is where the term narcissist comes from, right? Like, he was so beautiful that he fell in love. I'm paraphrasing, that he went to the river and he was looking into the mirror, like into the mirror and into himself, and ended up falling so deeply in love with himself that he just stood there until he passed away, right? He unalived, right? Because he couldn't bear to be ripped away from the beauty that he saw it reflected back to him. And that's really paraphrasing. I'm sure there's a lot of other, I'm sure there were gods and things involved, cursing him or something. Aphrodite probably had something to do with it, because I'm sure Narcissus was like, I'm the most beautiful thing in the world. And Aphrodite was like, oh, really? Um, but yeah. And so, like I said, there is this, and I'm not saying that you are a narcissist or anything like that, but what I am saying is that there was something inside of you that you needed. There was, I don't want to call it a weakness, but it was something that energies like this can take a hold of. And maybe for some of you, you have dealt with some narcissists. You have dealt with some people who do the love bombing, who do the mirroring all your energies and miming you. And it's like, oh yeah, I do this. Oh, I do that too. Oh, I say this. Oh, I say that too. And it's like, I'm just like you. I'm just like you, sort of energy. And that's what it kind of feels like. It feels like you being lost in this, wow, this energy is so beautiful. When really it was a facade. It was an illusion. It was just your own energy mirrored back to you, where you were like, oh, this thing is beautiful and it deserves love and attention and affection. And what you were really seeing was the wounds inside of you that you wanted to heal. And now this mirror could have been a person, it could have been a thing, it could have been a job, a business, something that mirrored back your own wounds to you. But it hid those wounds underneath this kind of beautiful energy. It really does feel kind of like spell. Somebody here could have put a love spell or something on you. I don't talk about that type of stuff that much, but plausible. Because that's what it feels like. And it feels like you're just trapped there. And it feels like somebody like that, whoever put that mirror down was like, hee hee hee. Now I can jump on this person's path and beat them there. And they go running down your path, hee 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 hee, while you're there just, oh, look at that. Oh, let me do this. wow, look at that. And it's almost like, it's like the sun, and then I see the sun coming up and rising to a certain position that the light is coming in and it blinds you and you're just like, ah, you look away, and in that moment the universe comes in, or you come in and you look away from the mirror and you're like, and the spell, the illusion is broken. Or the divine comes in and knocks the mirror out of the way and you're like, wait a minute, this is just a mirror, this is just an illusion, like this isn't real, what am I doing? And then I see you here turning away from this, turning away from this illusion, turning away from this beautiful lie. Because there is a part of you, right, that needs to pass over. This is almost, like, um, who's the riverboat? I'm hearing like every other sea name in the book, but this person's, with their, they're the guide, the riverboat ferryman that takes you to the other side of the river Styx, right? So there is this kind of energy here of, I had to leave this energy behind to find this divine truth. And it's almost like I had to bring this truth to a deeper part of myself. Hey babes, you have a tendency to fall for gaslighting. Hey babes, you have a tendency, or hey guy, you have a tendency to step into dynamics where you're people pleasing, or you have a tendency to step into this dynamics where you are getting trapped in this kind of empath narcissist, or this type of victim persecutor rescuer kind of dynamic. And you needed to see this truth inside of yourself. You needed to see this part of your shadow. It needed to be mirrored back to you. Because while you were sitting there looking deeply, deeply, deeply into your own reflection, alchemism, this alchemy was happening. And as angry as you might have been when you realized the trick, you also simultaneously realized that your spirit guides or your higher self came in to highlight how you could alchemize this experience into lessons to learn about yourself. Lessons to learn that you will need to know. You need to learn this lesson now before you reach even further down your path. You need to see the signs. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't ignore the lies. Don't get trapped in these dynamics. Right? Fool me once, can't get fooled again. And that's the type of energy that Spirit wants you to bring into this. I needed to see these illusions. I needed to evolve. Because there is a higher purpose and a higher plan to this. And having these lessons is allowing you to build this foundation. Right? It's allowing you to build this foundation here so that you can plant these seeds of knowing, into deeper knowing of yourself, deeper knowing of how the world works. Because sometimes we need to know there aren't nice people out there. And not in a way that stops us or halts us or infects us with fear indefinitely, but just in a sense of knowing. In a sense of, I needed to know that this is out here, and I needed to know how to handle it, and I needed to know how I would react to it, and I needed to know how to do better for myself and for other people. If this situation was to ever come up again, well, I know how to get out of it. Well, I know how to sidestep it. Well, I know how to say, oh no, this is just a fake marriage, and throw it to the side. Because there was this kind of energy of entrapment here, because they use this mirror to mirror your own energy back to you and keep you in a place of delusion and illusion, you know, of what the truth was in that situation. Because you see how here in this Queen of Pentacles card, the Queen of Pentacles has this type of like branches growing out of her, and see how the branches are all full and they have leaves and like berries growing on them. See how the branches that are growing around this person are all bare and tangled and thorny. That's what it was. There is something here too about the fact that this, you know, this person here, you know, they're in their natural state, right? They're in their natural state, and spirit is pointing out this type of difference of how this person is like covered from the bottom of her neck. Like this person was just so jealous and envious of who you naturally are and the natural light and the natural abundance that you hold inside of yourself. And they wanted to tell you that being in that natural state, ooh, I'm hearing, was a sin. So for some of you, this definitely could have to do with, it's giving internalized misogyny. It's giving, I wanna be the good girl in the patriarchy, so I'm going to tell this other free spirited person, girl, why don't you put some clothes on? Nobody wants to see that. You're disgusting. Rip this flower crown off. Get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness, sort of type energy, okay? And for some of you, this could have manifested as some type of religious persecution, you know. Um, and that's what it's, because it's kind of given me this very natural fairy kind of energy who is being persecuted by this very opposing energy, you know. And of course it's like the young, beautiful, abundant maiden being persecuted by the kind of shadow energy of this kind of crone energy. But it's a crone energy that has been manipulated into seeing other women or other feminine energies as their enemy. I'm hearing, I want to win. I want to win. I deserve to win. I deserve it more than you. You know, and I'm seeing like this whole scene of you coming upon the staircase, right? And it's like, oh, you've been chosen and you're ascending up to this position of leadership. And here comes this other person, like, how dare you? You know, like, I've put a whole lifetime of work into this. Like, I deserve it more than you. Like, I have less time left on this earth, or you know, again, it's this it's this lack mentality. And again, for some of you, this could have manifested in an actual person, or this could just be the overall energy, because it's very much so giving me this type of ending this age of Pisces energy, which has been about which has been this shadow masculine age of, you know, persecuting women, pulling them down, you know, establishing this patriarchal rule that hurts everyone under it. And there is this kind of energy of, well, I followed the rules. Well, I stayed all buttoned up, and I didn't show off myself, and I went to church every Sunday, and I've given tithes my whole entire life. Why not me? You know, why should you this young, free, airy, fairy spirit that's doing everything that everyone has always said is a sin that I haven't been allowed to do. Why should you be allowed to rise up and shine and be given this leadership position, or being given this elevated position for doing everything that I was told my whole entire life I wasn't allowed to do? And for some of you, it is really you going up against this energy of the, again, of the traumatized woman that wants to turn around and traumatize other women. It's this type of you going up against this woman who has aged in this age of Pisces, and instead of, it's like, I'm either, it's like, well, I'm not going to be the victim, so I'm going to turn into the persecutor. But they don't see it that way. It is this wounded, traumatized, damaged person who has said, well, I'm either going to be the victim or I'm going to be on the side of the winner, of the victor. So I might as well be the side of the victor. And I see this energy, Spirit has been talking with this energy, with this type of kind of third party energy, where it's this whole Adam and Eve and Lilith energy. And I think here in this dynamic, you represent the free feminine who has a voice, who has independence, who wants to make it a different way, who doesn't have to cave underneath the same societal pressures, that doesn't want to grow up and doesn't want to put themselves in the same cage that other women did. And it's like, you're being blessed for that. You're being blessed for breaking those generational curses. You're being blessed for choosing, for using the options. We have options now that our ancestors prayed for, that our grandmothers and great-grandmothers and great-great-grandmothers, they prayed for those options that we have now. And it's almost as if there is this rise of energy of like, well, how dare you? I didn't have that. So if you didn't have it, I shouldn't have it either. Instead of being in a situation where it's like, thank God you don't have to succumb to the same pressures that I did. Thank gosh you have more freedom, and you have this idea, and you can actually live that dream. You are in the position to live that dream that your ancestors prayed and cried out for. And there is this type of energy rising up in the feminine, because as the true divine feminine is rising, we have to meet our shadow. And that shadow is the one that has been saying, no, conform. No, just stay silent. No, just do what he says. No, don't want for more. No, don't girl boss. No, don't say, well, I can have an education and have a career and be a mother. It's this energy that would rather feminine energies fight. It's this energy of, well, like, if I'm the Eve and I'm the submissive one, that's supposed to be my natural position, so I'm better than Lilith. And it's Lilith turning around and saying, well, I never succumb to the wants and the wills of a man, so I'm better than Eve. And it's this type of dynamic of fighting amongst yourself, instead of seeing, actually, neither one of us should be tearing each other down for the acceptance of a man. That man should be able to stand on his own, and I should be able to stand on my own, in whatever way that I feel. And that's what I feel like you have been facing. You have been facing this type of energy that represents this shadow feminine energy. And you have been coming together in this light and dark feminine energy that is becoming more powerful than the feminine energy that was suppressed in this past age of Pisces. And like I said, this could be rising up as women in power. For some of you, I'm seeing like a boss, or I'm seeing like like a person that has some type of power over you. For some of you, I'm hearing a therapist or a boss at work or a professor in college or at some kind of school or taking some type of lessons that was just like, that really opened up their mouth and spouted out a bunch of like propaganda where it was like, ooh, girl, not you speaking in the voice of of the abusive man. Like, girl, no. Not you telling me I can't live in my dreams. Girl, what? Because when she looks at you, she sees the woman she had to end. She sees the woman that she had to kill. That she told herself, that she was told, you'll never make it in this industry if you care about other women. You have to become and mirror this distorted masculine energy if you want to make it. Be like me if you want to make it in this world. And you are overcoming this energy by saying, no, I think I'll be young and pretty and free, and I'll age gracefully. And I think that I'll just, if I want to be all airy fairy, I'll be airy fairy. If I want to be serious businesswoman, then I'll be serious businesswoman. But that doesn't mean that I have to tear down other women or judge men or do any. I don't have to mirror back this nasty energy. I don't have to be in this boys club with y'all to succeed and to make it in this world. I don't have to be like you. I don't have to be okay with you saying weird things and you looking me up and down and you say, yeah, I don't have to do that. I don't have to either be the Madonna or the whore. Like, I don't have to exist in this extreme duality that separates me from my true strength and my power and doesn't allow me to be the united divine feminine. I say no to that. I rise above that. When I see other women, I cheer at the top of my lungs and I am so happy for them. And they do the same for me. I will not be like you. I will not want to tear down other people because they walk in the room and they're leaders and they're beautiful. No, I won't. I'm going to tell her that her highlighter looks good. I'm going to tell her that I love her hairy legs. I'm going to tell her, that I love that she's girl bossing. I'm going to tell her her kids are beautiful. I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to lift her up and she is going to be liberated from this feeling that it has to be a competition and that we have to stand in each other's way and that we have to rip and tear each other down. We don't. Because it is this shadow masculine energy that loves to see us rip and tear each other down. And no, I won't. I don't know if any of you watched, but I'm seeing this right now. If any of you watched um, American Horror Story Coven, that season, but I'm seeing Fiona. And I'm seeing that scene between her and Madison, right? Where Fiona was this representation of doing it the hard and nasty way, ripping and tearing other people down and even your own coven, even your own family to get by in this world, to get power, just to have power's sakes. And I'm seeing the difference of how she took over and become supreme by the old supreme. And then when she thought Madison was the new supreme, she ended up doing the same to her, trying to cut down the younger up and coming to remain in power. Because, being in power was never enough. And I think about, spoilers, I guess, the difference in her and Cordelia, and how when it was her time to go, Cordelia just forgave her and released her and let her go. How even in the end she ran and hung on to power until the last second. And in the end she came back and asked for forgiveness. And how Cordelia was just like, you deal with your own shit. But she did it with love and understanding. And there is this type of energy here where forgiveness and compassion and grace is going to be so important, because being mad and cussing them out and tearing them down is not what is going to bring an end to this cycle. I mean, neither is people pleasing and, but no. What's going to end this cycle is you standing in your power and saying, no, I won't be like you, but I'm also not going to tolerate you tearing me down. But I take back my power from you, and I don't allow you to, and your thoughts and your wants and your intentions and you being stuck in the past, that's your own business. But I also don't have to get stuck in this feeling that I have to save you. That's not my job. It's not my job to turn around and save the person that tried to tear me down. That's not my job. But I forgive myself for falling for your tricks, for your illusions, because I alchemized that shit and found my power. Through all the stress and the strife, I found myself. And I found out how truly strong I really was. And I did it with grace, and I did it with compassion, and I did it with understanding, and I did it in a way that wasn't like what came before me. And that's the point. When you are breaking these cycles, when you are changing, that's what it requires. It requires for you to do things differently. Not for you to seek vengeance, not for you to tear down that other person. It comes with a level of grace and compassion and understanding, but also with a bitch kick rocks. But also, I get why you did it, but keep that ass over there. And there is a deep healing that in handling things differently than those, in this transition. It's kind of like, be that person you wished you had, be that leader you wished you had. This person didn't give up power with compassion and grace and understanding. They fought tooth and nail against this change. They fought to bring down other people after them. Don't be like them. That's why you were put in this position. That's why you were chosen, because Spirit trusted you to do the different thing, to do it differently. But you had to learn that your ability to say no does not make you a bitch. And your ability to forgive doesn't make you weak. And you had to find that balance within yourself of, I know when to say no. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, tough titties. that's a you thing. I do not have to live my life in a way that is acceptable to you. Because this person for sure does not care if the way they lived their life was acceptable to you. They did whatever they wanted to do. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to do the same. But they want you to leave the situation not in anger, not in vengeance, not in karma's gonna get you, wait till you get torn down. It's in like a, yeah, I see why this happened. I see my lessons and what I needed to learn. I see why you did it. I get it. You probably see this person deeper than they see themselves. But there is this sense here of not feeling like I have to let this person take advantage of me because I see the wounds inside of them. I don't. I don't have to show up and let this person run all over me because I wish somebody saw the wounds in me and showed up for me. There's this sense of letting this person hold their space and hold accountability for their actions, and you going and giving that kindness and that love and that compassion and that understanding to people who are really asking for it. And who are deserving of it in the way that you really want to give it. And I want you to apply that to everything, everyone, every dimension of your life. And this is that lesson that you are learning. That your shadow and that your dark energy doesn't make you rude. It doesn't make you mean. But your light energy doesn't mean you have to be run over, or that you have to be the victim, or that, oh, it's fine. No. You are learning how to have a balance between those things. And it's beautiful. And you are bringing in and issuing in the new divine feminine in the new age. Or you are issuing in that new divine masculine energy in the new age. Come on now. Beautiful. And understand that when we are here and when we are breaking those curses, and when we are breaking that dark magic, when we are pushing through the powers that were, a lot of people are not going to like that. A lot of people are not going to agree with that, especially with people who conformed under the system. That's a them thing. But there's also grace. There's grace to be given to those that came before us, and their shadows that had to be created to help them survive in the deep age of a Pisces that they grew up in the age of suppression that they and their psyche and their belief systems were created in. And there is a deeper level of understanding of that, but there is still boundaries and holding space for yourself. I care about you and I love you and I see the struggles you've gone through, but I don't care about you more than I care about myself and my future and the type of world and belief systems I want my daughters to have. I want my sons to have. The type of people I want them to feel like they're allowed to be. Things change. That's the way of the world. The world changes, the world evolves, and the generations that are born into those they reflect that change. But those who are ready and willing to go on this journey will live in a different world. And you will live the dream and the hope and the prayer of your ancestors. The people that came before you that cried out for freedom, for liberation, for understanding, for compassion, for protection. You are here creating that world that they dreamed of. And I am so incredibly proud of you. Thank you so very much for being with me here in this time, in this age. Thank you for walking this path with me. It is not easy, but we are here and we are all helping each other to forgive, to let go, to move on, to find love and compassion in our lives, to not be scared, to start over, to know that it's never too late, to change, to chase that dream, to do what the hell you need to do to create that future that you really want for yourself, for your friends, for your family, for your community. Thank you for the amazing emotional, spiritual, communal work that you'll be doing. Thank you for the businesses and for the products and for the places and the safe places and the havens that you will be creating to help this community heal, to help Gaia heal, to help in the evolution of this world. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for being here with me. Um, Thank you for listening. Thank you for answering the call. Thank you for being brave enough to do what you needed to do. I understand it's not always easy to be that person, but you're amazing, and I'm so grateful that you are here. And I'm very grateful that not only are you here in this world, but you are here with me, walking this path with me, walking home with me, and I feel incredibly privileged to be here with you and to be participating in this energy with you. Thank you to your spirits, angels, guardians, ancestors, masters, and guides for guiding you here to this reading. I hope it gave you the love, light, and clarity that you needed in this time. Thank you to my angels, ancestors, masters, guardians, and guides for guiding me through delivering this message, as well as keeping me safe while they did so. I appreciate you guys ever so much. Do the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know if you feel like working with me in any of the services that I offer. My contact information is down below. And I will see you lovelies in the next one. Bye.